Hi, this is Derek Murphy. Welcome to the first video in my series, How to Format a Book in Microsoft Word. This is the 2017 edition. I just upgraded to Microsoft Word 2016, and I was checking it out. There are a few differences, like this design tab, but we can ignore that. But mostly all of the things that I had showed you in earlier videos, if you've watched my earlier videos on book formatting in Microsoft Word, most of everything is the same. So even though it looks a little nicer and cleaner, most of the process is the same. And so I'm going to go through number one, which is set up a page size, margins, and gutter. Usually when you start writing a book, you just do it in the default size, which is 8.5 by 11. That's a normal A4 size. To get it to a book size, you need to go down to more paper sizes. And I'm going to set this up to 6 by 9. There are some different sizes I recommend. 6 by 9 is kind of the go-to size for most books. It can be a little bit big. The other one that I like a lot is 5.25 by 8, which is a little bit like, it's smaller, but the ratio is similar to what you get with 6 by 9. There's also a choice that's on Amazon. If you're publishing on CreateSpace, there's also a choice of 5 by 8, but I think 5 is a little too narrow, so you end up with something that's a little taller and not quite as book shaped. It looks more like a pamphlet or something. So 5.25 by 8 or 6 by 9 or whatever other size. If you're doing like a illustration book or a picture book or a children's book, sometimes a square. I think on CreateSpace you can do 8 by 8, which is a square. That works too. Anyway, but for most fiction and nonfiction books, start with 6 by 9. This is really easy to change anyway. You go to whole document to make sure that this whole thing is highlighted. And then I'm just going to go to OK. And so now you'll be able to tell. Let me bring this down a little bit. It shows me, in this document I have 18,000 words, and so it's showing me 78 pages. This was probably a lot less pages before. And see, a few things changed, like this header got broken, so I need to change the size of that to refit everything, but we can go back and do things like that later. Right now we're just setting it up. Also, there's this huge indent when you first, margins. When you first set this, the default margins were probably an inch. So I'll go back to layout again, and I'll go to margins, and it's set to 1 inch, which is too big. So I'll go to custom margins. I'll do 0.6. 0.6 is a pretty good size. I can just copy and paste. 0.5 is fine too, but that's basically it. So I'll go to whole document, and then I'll also set my gutter. The gutter is the space that goes into the spine. So you don't have to set one, but generally, like if you don't set one, some of the paper width is going to be eaten up in the spine, which can make the text look off-centered. So if you set a gutter, that gives you a little more space on the inside of the book coming out from the spine. That will make the text all look more even. So I just set this to 0.2, gutter position is left, and I do OK. And so that should also change the pages a little bit. This actually doesn't look like very much spacing. I'm going to check just to make sure. Paper sizes. I'm going up to layout again, checking my margins. So it looks like everything is set up right now. It's kind of hard to tell if you're in a big screen mode like this. You could also go to view and view it by multiple pages, 2 pages like this. That makes it a little bit easier to see what you're doing and compare sizes. One thing to note with the gutter, it's kind of hard to see right now. Quickly I'll justify this so you can see. There's more space here, which is the inside. So this space on the left-hand side is the gutter that goes into the book. So it gets a little tricky to keep track of which side of the page has more space and goes on the inside. Anyway, I'm going to end this video here. Thanks. Bye-bye.